Welcome to another edition of Legend of Two Games. I'm Isaiah Rose with Frank Tier. Frank, it's been a while. It's a lot that's happened since our last episode, but we're gonna lock back in like we never left. Um, I, More recently, the WNBA All Star Game was just played last night. Uh, Team of Fisa Collier's team beat Team Caitlin Clark. Unfortunately, Caitlin Clark wasn't able to play due to a lingering groin injury, which really affected, uh, I would say, the surface level fans' interest because it definitely affected the ticket price going into the game. But nevertheless, the engagement for the All Star game, in my opinion, over the last couple of days, or All Star weekend in general, was very, very high. Uh,
Hmm.
the, the players gave a lot of the behind the scenes looks of what's going on. In terms of the players having fun, everybody in terms of the league coming together in Indiana. So it was definitely a good event. Um, but there was some foundational CBA talks that really came to the forefront in regards to the business side of sports. A lot of people try to shy away from that, but particularly when collective bargaining agreements are coming up, players like to make a statement in regards to what they need, what they want going forward. So it was a lot going on this weekend. What do you think about it?
I think it was good exposure, right? It does seem like there's an intentional effort to personalize certain players and bring the game closer to the fans, like kind of put it like more in their face as they grasp. So I think it was definitely a positive. I mean, they're trying to figure out ways to just increase fan engagement, right? In efforts to increase the viability and visibility of the sport. So I think when that happens, it can only be a positive. So it was a successful weekend, and she took on MVP. She probably gonna be the MVP of that this season, and who knows, we may be looking at a you know what I mean at a MVP sweep. Not to push out too far.
Well, definitely, especially considering coming off of the loss last year to the Liberty, very controversial ending depending on what side of the coin you're on. Minnesota lost to the Liberty on a foul that really swung the series on. Unfortunately for the Lynx, but the Liberty were able to win their first franchise WNBA title. When you think about being motivated in that fashion, uh, the links are definitely on a crash course. Um, to your point about the engagement, though, I think the WNBA is in a good sweet spot in
Yeah.
certain respects. There's certain levels of exposure that they're trying to give the fans to increase the engagement, but it seemed, in my opinion, that a lot of it was very, very personal, and they want the fans to 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 see what's going on behind the scenes so that they could draw them in and build with them in a way that let's say an independent artist will want to give fans a personalized experience. So they'll take them to a concert, they'll give them backstage passes to a concert, or give them free merch for buying uh, a particular piece of art, right? You can build in a certain way that maybe pardon me, the NBA doesn't give fans as much because they're already a built infrastructure. Their entity is so big, they don't necessarily need to give fans so much of a personalized experience. I think that they're in a unique space in that way. What do you think about that?
Oh, legit. I think with the league is growing, right? And they've been around for 20 years, but they're still a young league, right? So I think the goal is to definitely um build this foundation with fans, right? And go forward. So yeah, I think what they're trying to do is awesome, and I do like the relation to like independent artists, like because it's like while we're at this stage, we can give you this in a way where we can give you more of it, right? As a way that you probably can't do like with a super mainstream artist or so, right? So yeah, we can have you a part of this. While it's almost as if we're on this journey together, right? So yeah,
It's the challenge with that though is that they're trying to get to a mainstream level.
yeah,
So they want to build, obviously. we've spoken about it before, especially when it comes to the history of women's basketball. There's been so many great players. When you know the history, there's been so many dominant players that have been
Mhm.
so skilled,
Yeah,
so dynamic, especially when you consider how long they have to play, where they have to play, all types of countries still giving us the American side of the product when they don't necessarily have to because they make so much money overseas. Um, there's so much of a labor of love side to the WNBA, right? And they're
yeah,
trying to get to that mainstream level. So
hmm
they're hitching and wagging to a player like Caitlin Clark, who brings in so many eyes that don't necessarily love the game the same way, but because she's such a polarizing name, because her game at this time in this era can bring in uh so much visibility, they're using it, but at times it seems like they're not necessarily ready for all of those eyeballs as they try to navigate that challenge of moving to that space. They face some challenges in regards to um handling so much criticism that doesn't necessarily have to do with basketball
yeah,
while still having to almost validate their product to people that don't really value it as much.
expected. Yeah.
How do you think that they've dealt with that over the last year or two?
I think it's been a battle, right? I think they've done the best they can, right? I think, I mean, I think what you said was spot on. So much of the visibility of the WNBA, right, and so much of the discourse about it, a lot of times surrounds things that's not basketball related at all, right? So, for example, Caitlin Clark is an ultimate ambassador of the game, right? For as much as she's spoken about, she never said anything, right? Like at least nothing particularly polarizing, right? She's a small town girl. Stayed local for college, goes out and plays ball, right? Um, a lot of discourse has been engulfed in this rivalry that really neither her or Angel really engaged in that much, right? So say, and it's kind of been force fed to us, right? So I think what you see a lot of times is the growing pains, right? Like we have this player, we have this product that folks who know is amazing, but how do we like you said, validate and show to others that is good, right? And sometimes at least not to some folks, but to some, there are questions about the way that some of these things are being pushed, right? And I think that just speaks to some of the growing pains, right? It's hard to one please everyone, and you're at a point where like we need more eyes on the sport now, right? We want to be more visible, want to be more popular now, right? So certain things we do, right? Seem like for the moment, right, and seems like it's capitalizing off this new energy, especially this new energy around the women's college basketball game in the past 3 or so years, right? Trying to capitalize on that and translate it. And with that, I think you're probably gonna rub some folks the wrong way, or do some things that may at times seem a little force fed. So
So it's interesting you say that because let's use hip hop for example, right?
hmm
Hip hop took a very long time to become legitimized, right? But in building its in establishing the genre as as a legitimate business, the hip hop culture was already established. So the music itself didn't necessarily have to exist for it to be hip hop. But once it became uh a legitimate business, now everybody wants a piece of it, right? The WNBA is in a unique space because every other business model around it in regards to sport, whether it be NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, right? It it looks as if it's dwarfed in comparison to those, but success is always relative. When you look from where the WNBA started from,
hmm
it's very tied into what college women's college sports was, right?
hmm
Women's college sports had to legitimize itself over time before it became what it is now. Now it's
hmm
tied in with the NCAA overall. You look at the March Madness model; it's very successful. So the women's game on the college side is almost a springboard for the WNBA in a lot of ways, but they can't necessarily get the same type of popularity at the same time, right?
Yeah, legit. And I mean, people just have to be honest that it's just a little different, right? Typically when we talk about college, right? Folks are drawn to their school, right? So their your fan base comes from one, the population on campus, but also alumni, right? Those networks go back years, right? We're talking about millions of people who have gone through college days, right? So that's where
Decades long.
that's where a lot that's where a lot that comes from, right? A lot of a lot of the popularity is rooted in like this level of sports tribalism, right? Like I'm a LSU Tiger for life, right? Like I don't care if that's basketball, football, lacrosse, right?
Right.
Like and my favorite is that, and it also doesn't hurt that these girls are really good, right? These girls are killing it, right? Like so that's where that comes from, right? When you get to the NBA, right? That level of like ingrained like fanfare for my team and my school, my alumni, isn't quite the same, right? So yeah, you can root for Iowa fans will always root for Caitlin Clark, right? LSU Tiger fans will always root for Angel Reese. But the one in one bond it isn't quite the same, right? Because you're no longer Tiger no more, right? So I think that's them trying to capitalize on it, and the rightfully should. But there is a reason why we see a dip in popularity when it comes to the women's women's program. I think for that reason.
So that bond that you speak of, particularly with Caitlin and Angel, the WNBA definitely tried to use that to build future pillars of the game.
Hmm.
Now, if you go back to the reason why we're keeping this thread going is because more recently, particularly Andrew Reese, who coming out of LSU, she definitely was uh, definitely as popular in some respect as Caitlin Clark, coming off of the national championship, and then that her senior year wasn't as good in terms of stats wise, but
Yeah.
the name built. It
Yep.
built in a way that when they both went into the WNBA, that was their magic and bird moment, right? And they tried to they're trying to, I don't want to say they tried, they're trying to use that to build uh more and more of a long lasting foundation for them going forward. So you got potential like Juju and other great college players coming out. It's all a streamline, right? But I think to the point about the unique space they're in terms of the eyeballs and criticisms is that they're not it because of the fandom that carries for both. It kind of has diluted a lot of the purities of their development. So it's like both of them are not allowed to struggle in the same way that a young rookie coming into professional sports is able to struggle because they're expected to carry so much so fast. And
Hmm.
in particular for Angel Reese, in her game, we know in terms of sports, sometimes the player you are in college isn't the player going to be in the pros. That's just
No.
the reality. You got to adjust to a whole different game. You're with grown individuals now. It's not just your peers. They're much older than you, and you have to adjust your game in a certain way. I think Angel has reached that point where, especially towards the midpoint of her rookie season in the WNBA, into the first half a little bit towards the end of the first half of her second season, she
Hmm.
really, really struggled
Yeah,
offensively.
for sure.
So those that don't necessarily watch basketball, they look at some of her missed layups or some of her missed jump shots, and they say, "You guys are comparing her to Caitlin Clark," and their criticisms have been so extreme that it's veered out of bounds in a way that's not healthy,
Legit.
right? And but then there's also so now you almost feel like you have to protect her. because
Mm-hmm.
they're going out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
And any form of critique seems like hate.
Legit.
Where, if we're being honest, in most sports, when you critique players, you critique their game. You can be honest about this player is not good at that. They're great at this. So you wouldn't compare them to this player. You would say, no, he or she is this, right? You can be honest about that critique. So I feel like there's also a point where it's unhealthy to where you're not allowed to critique the same way. And I think that the WNBA is in that space as well. And I think Candace Parker has echoed that.
That was so well said, right? It's this level. It's so much of the critique um seems like a power on, and like you said, escapes the realm of basketball discourse. That there's a heightened effort to protect, and in that protection, a little bit of infantilization, right? To the point where you can critique. Example: LeBron James has been critiqued for 22 years. He's a top four player of all time, right? We've seen him have flaws in his game, and those flaws have pretty much like not overvanished, but ain't the same, right? The critique has stayed constant, right? And while LeBron has a like fan base that can be the extreme, I think everyone eats to critique, right? That's just part of the game, right? We critique Steph on defense being hunted, right? We critique Russell Westbrook at times like the turnovers and stuff, and like just like the plays are kind of like like come on Russ, like it's just part of the game, right? With Angel, like you said, really good at one thing. Some things can use work. And the Candace Parker discourse, it was a thing you're not supposed to be like, wait, I'm not sure where this is coming from, right? Then we find some of the clip, be like, oh, okay, I see the clip, right? But this is also fair basketball critique. What you alluded to was this, she ranked Caitlyn in the tier, right? She ranked Caitlyn in the second tier, and she ranked Angel in the fourth tier, right? But her premise was you are in the first two tiers if you are your team's like go-to player, scoring wise, right? Caitlyn averaged 19 last year. She's struggling this year, right? But she's still seen that like kind of go-to scorer. Her and Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell. You don't see Angel as a scorer, right? So that already like has her in a lower tier, right? And then I think Candace was speaking on a lot of some of the mishaps that Angel went through first half of the season, which when you think about it, the tier she ranked her in, I mean, wasn't to me at least wasn't like done in a harmful way, right? That wasn't the plan. But the blowback has been she's a hater, and it's like whoa, like can someone who has played the game, who has excelled at literally every level, right? People have her as the best high school player ever, Candice, right? She had legendary dunk contests. She was legendary at Tennessee, right? Won and was innovative and got MVP her rookie year. Can someone who as successful as her, as knowledgeable as her, right? Because she broadcast the men's games, right? Both like um during the game and also goes like during the halftime show, right? Because someone as knowledgeable as her can she not critique Angel and have it be basketball critique? So like, yo, where are we going? If we want the game to grow, right, we have to be okay with parenting that somehow we don't like. And even the term I don't like just makes no sense, right? It's basketball. Part of basketball is to watch it, to love it, to praise it, and to critique, right? So I'm not sure what level we're at where we want all the praise in the world, but never some of the critique. That's just not realistic in any field, especially in our sports, right? Like the best players of all time have been critiqued. Patrick Mahomes gets critiqued. Jalen Hurts has been critiqued. Tom Brady and Peyton has been critiqued, right? So why do you feel that folks are above critique, right? And I get there's like you said, there's the extreme of it that seems to escape basketball, but folks are never above rational, fair critique, right? And I think we gotta get comfortable with hearing it.
So I feel like where Candace is in a unique space compared to, when you brought up LeBron, when you brought up Patrick Mahomes in the NFL, right? I think for a lot of people, especially when it comes to the women's game in particular, they're tied at the hip. So it's like when Dawn Staley is interviewed for the New York Knicks head coaching job, that is a success for everybody. So it's like each one teach one, share and share alike. My success is yours. So when the South Carolina Gamecocks beat Iowa for the national championship, even though Dawn Staley won, it was her responsibility to still propel
Big Show. Yep. Yep.
Caitlyn because they're tied, they're in this together.
Hmm.
Everything is meant to uplift the game, right?
Yep.
Everybody has a responsibility to do so, right? And I think for people who are invested in the WNBA or the success of it, they want everybody involved to still be that way. And I feel like everybody is. Everybody in the women's game, in my opinion, is for that. But they also want it to be, to your point, they want it to be judged like any other sport. They want the competitors to be competitive.
Yeah.
They want the competitors to be competitive. Sometimes we don't like each other. I don't have to like you to be successful. You don't have to like me to be successful. Actually, um that animus towards each other allows for the game to be better. Because now when we go into these games, you know I'm gonna go right at your neck to try to win. And you're
Yeah.
gonna do the same to me. And that's what's gonna bring the best out of us, right? But we still have especially those that came before us, say Candace Parker generation before, they want her to be like big sister, like no matter what, like I support you. And I think Candace has done so in an articulate way. She's never diminished Angel as a professional. If anything, she's highlighted what she's great at. But comparing her to Caitlyn in her mind is like apples and oranges. You're not gonna compare a great scorer who has to be the focal point of a team to say a great defensive player and great rebounder because they have different responsibilities. But when you know basketball, you understand that. Like, not to say that both of these players are this, but I'm using this example. Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman play different roles, both very valuable, but they're not the same responsibilities for each team, right? So you're not going to compare them and say, "Oh, Dennis Rodman is better than Michael Jordan," or "Michael Jordan is better than Dennis Rodman." They're not even comparable, right? And I
Or
think,
Jason Kidd and Kane, or Jason Kidd and Kane Martin, right?
right, you wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
you wouldn't do that. Yeah. Right.
So, but I think because Angel was so popular, right? In some respects, I mean, I want to use Dennis because Dennis, in his own way, was like super duper transcendent in terms of
Mm-hmm.
popularity, but he wasn't
Legit.
Michael Jordan,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So I think because Angel and Caitlyn are so popular in their own way, it almost looks like they're mirroring each other or they're on the same tier and they're not. So when someone breaks it down in a basketball way, it seems like it's over the top. And I
Yeah.
think that's that gray area you're talking about where it's like where can we be, where's the nuance at? Who's acknowledging the nuance so that it can be fair?
A lot of that is also the casual fandom, right? Of folks who, it's possible we've encountered folks who watch basketball for 20 years who, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not sure how much you are able to analyze what you've been watching, right? But on top of that, there's a new fandom, right? Who has watched the game and don't really understand nuance, right? They see Caitlyn and Andrew and they see two basketball players, cool, compare them, right? And we just never ever done that like before, right? And I think people have to be okay with that, right? Like we don't compare Duncan and Kid, right? And not saying this is at all. We know that, like, yeah, team leader is one thing, but also different positions. We just know, like, there's certain things you can't compare, right? And I feel like that guardrail isn't there for a lot of the new fandom that the WNBA has gone in, or that these two players have gone in, right? Because a lot of folks are just fans of them and not necessarily the game, right? And I
Yeah.
think a lot of that is shown is reveals itself during the discourse, right? So
So so to that point, we could go to more recently an attack. I feel it was a personal attack. I feel it's a misguided attack. I feel like it's a tone deaf attack towards Andrew Reese that when we speak about unhealthy discourse, it went too far. Robert Griffin III,
yeah, man.
who was a professional athlete in his own right, high level performer, he was able to transition that career into broadcasting, and he's been an analyst uh, on and on for many years. And I think the social media spaces allow for many people to become analysts of almost everything, as opposed to being in their niche. Now, when you have the TV side of things, they keep people in their box. Like if you are a football player, you are a football analyst, right? Now you have social media, which allows you to do that for everything. So we've seen many people cross over. Um, so Shannon Sharp, Ryan Clark, Robert Griffin III. Now you just said we've come across a lot of people who don't necessarily follow the game as much, but they're aware, so they speak on things. I think that's what the WNBA is, particularly now because of the polarizing nature of Caitlin and Angel. And I
Mhm.
think people have used Caitlin and Angel to push certain agendas that have nothing to do with basketball. I feel what Robert Griffin III did, particularly with Angel and this image that was used against her. It was an image of a monkey on a silhouette of an NBA 2K because she is the WNBA ambassador for NBA 2K26, which was a great accomplishment for her. She was able to debut her signature sneaker on there. It was
Yep.
a great moment. But for Robert Griffin III to use that, I don't want to say he used it because someone sent the comment to him, but he retweeted it knowing the platform that he has, and then he he engaged in a, how can you say, he spoke to the fact that his platform is no place for hate, and how despite the disagreements and misgivings between him and the Angel Reese camp over the last year and a half, even if he feels validated and feeling a certain way towards her, he still doesn't engage and promote any racist or big any racism or bigotry or sexism on his platform, but he's still projecting it
Wow,
and using it.
posted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's odd, right? And I want to say, without knowing folks purposely, it's in all our best interest to like assume well intent. But with that, it's like, bro, you could have posted that same message without elevating the tweet, right? Because whatever was sent to you, right, now it's being shared by you to your 100,000 or millions of followers, right? So it's like you could have made that statement without showing the tweet, right? Because people are reasonably saying this is bad faith, right? You're trying to knock her while defending her at the same time, right? So if you wanted to really do that, you could have just not reposted that image of her, right? Because now you allowed for further traction of that image, right? So it's like I don't know if he was unaware. I'm not sure if he was actually in bad faith, but it just wasn't good at all, right? Like you could have made that exact same image. I'm not even sure if you had to adjust that way. If somebody sent you that in a DM, you could have addressed that person, right? But if you want to make a broad statement, cool, do that, right? And just some of the language is also a little weird too, right? But you could have done that exact same thing as, hey, I'm here for fair basketball critique, and sometimes I've been accused of not fair basketball critique, but I definitely don't endorse this level of disparaging this young lady, right? That could have been done without the image, right? So it's like, bro, you put it, the question now the question is, were you being funny, right? Was it purposely? And yeah, but without knowing his intent, those questions are valid because you did something pretty wild. So it's odd, man. I think people have to be more responsible with their platform, and just more responsible with their discourse, right? Because some of the things he said before, right, has just like, well, I don't know, I don't know what good this does for the conversation, all right? Like, there's no need for you right there. Like the Flagrant fight earlier in the year, Karen fought her, Angel tried to fight her back, she hates her, bro. Like she went. I don't know if there's any personal animosity between them, right? Even if there is, that play wasn't indicative of that, right? So I'm not sure if your commentary have to act as if it was. So yeah, man, like I don't know. I don't know if people generally think that they're doing a good thing by having these conversations. Maybe they think they're furthering the game, but they're muddying it, right? It in a way that's not healthy and not beneficial for these women playing this amazing game.
So this is where is unique in that for Angel and Caitlyn in particular, those two players are the portal for people to get visibility to the game.
Yep.
And what happens is because they're the portal, that's the only thing people want to pay attention to.
Yep.
And the negativity part of it is what sells.
Yep.
Versus like, okay, if I'm growing up and I'm looking at Allen Iverson, I want to watch the game because of Allen Iverson. But in watching Allen Iverson, now I get to see Tim Duncan. Now I'm studying Tim Duncan. I have to, and I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at Kobe. I'm looking at Tracy. I'm looking at Vince. I'm looking at the entire landscape now because I'm an NBA fan. I'm a basketball fan. So now I'm invested in wanting to watch college basketball. Now I'm invested in wanting to watch high school basketball. I feel like what's happening is people are interested in the WNBA because of Caitlyn and Angel and anything that's connected to them in any way, right? Yes. But they're not taking the time to lock in on Sabrina Ionescu or Raina Stewart or Skylar Diggins, right? They're not looking and seeing the upcoming potential of players after them or even prior players before them. They're not taking that time. So now when you go to your point and like it's taking a conversation further away from what basketball really is, it's because they're only focusing on these two players to get any type of conversation on. And I think, in particular, because of the racial dynamics of it, you got to be honest about that too. That side of it is, if you're not careful, it's never going to be healthy
No.
because you're not going to be able to truly get a valid point across without offending other people. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that part of it is where they're trying to use sports to kind of connect things, but it's very, very divisive if you're not careful.
Legit. All right. I think all well said. I second that. Be responsible with this, right? Keep your conversations rooted in basketball and not about your personal feelings to these players or what you assume their personal feelings are, right? 'Cause that's just not important, right? Don't turn this. It's like just because these are women, don't don't try to make their game about catfights and drama, right? Because
Right.
they're professional athletes who are amazing at their craft, right? Leave whatever views you may have around like gender norms or attitude towards gender outside of this, right? These are professionals and competitors first and foremost, right?
Yeah.
And respect and talk about their game in that way, right? We gotta get away from like the drama and awareness, right? It's just odd, right? And it does a great game being played a big disservice.
Do you think because of the infancy of the sport that plays a part in it too?
Not I think it's more the polarization of where we are as a culture today, like as a country, as a country, as a country, and I think there's like an online culture that just like breeds toxicity, right? So I think we view most things through the lens of toxicity, right? There's toxic NBA fandom as well, right? I mean,
But but to that point,
uh-huh,
that the toxicity in the NBA
yeah,
or NFL or MLB, it exists,
yeah,
but because the sport is big enough,
yeah,
it can handle it because it or be diluted enough because while you do have that,
yeah,
you have some
yeah,
big fandom that could say, "Well,
for
you hate
sure,
LeBron and you said so many uh
yeah,
disparaging things about his wife or his daughters or his
yeah.
sons to the point where he has so many fans that love him so much it could drown it out." But the WNBA is at a point where they almost need more fandom than toxicity. So it's like any type of toxicity kind of disrupts the positivity that's going.
Legit. So all right. So in that sense, yeah, you're correct. It is because of the infancy, right? Because the WNBA is most popular ever right now, right? Why the thing is happening, right? To your credit, all other leagues have existed before we got in the social media sphere, right? So the foundation of like of being completely analytical and keeping it in the sport was already there before this new wave of social media of online culture that made happening, right? The WNBA has the fortune and misfortune in some ways of having its most visible moment existing in this highly polarizing sometimes like most times toxic nature culture in online culture. So that's I think it for sure has something to do with the league being infancy and its efforts to grow coinciding with folks who are toxically online and on social media. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
It's
Like
def-
mix that in with the inherent sexism of just like this country and how people see things and I think you get all these things in a nutshell.
it's definitely gonna be tough uh to manage, but I think hopefully hopefully going forward, the longevity of the league can outlast that. We're gonna get more players coming in that can kind of divert from Caitlin Clark in a good
Hmm.
way, so it
Yeah.
can allow personally her and Angel to exist only as their own players. They don't have to always be connected. I think because at this moment, I mean, obviously you still have great players outside of them, but because they are the new faces, they're gonna get the most visibility right now. Hopefully, when you get even more players coming in that can generate enough attention, that could kind of drown it out to some degree and
Hmm.
allow them to exist in their own space and, to your point, have the ability to just compete without having to worry about, well, what did Angel do when she did this, or what did Caitlin do when she did this?
Hmm.
That part of it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see their what it looks like in the next 3 or 4 years after this.
Hmm.
Any lasting words in regards to the WNBA and their growth, or what you would like to see going forward?
um yeah, I mean, for ladies, just keep balling, right? Keep balling, right? And just make sure. I think sometimes, I mean, in the media is also culpable as well, right? Part of them. Make sure you have folks who are the loudest and most visible, people who actually know, right? I think sometimes they try to get folks with big personalities, right? Who may
Mm,
not know the game well, right? And that hurts it, right? Because if you're a new fan and this is your entry point, and you hear this person first, who is being platformed because they're a lot of personality, but not really the most knowledgeable about the sport, then that hurts what the fan takes in, right? And that hurts the discourse, right? So make sure you have folks who one know basketball, but also who know and watch the women's game. Um, at the forefront of these conversations, right? These public conversations, right? Make sure that the first things that fans and new fans are hearing are from folks who actually know what they're talking about, right? And have an interest in discussing basketball, right? And not hopping on this trend of watching women's basketball.
well said. Well said. This is a Legend of Two Games. I'm Isaiah Rose with Frank Tier. We are going to be back on, especially towards the latter parts of the summer to get you ready for the WNBA. Pardon me, not only just the WNBA, but also the NBA. We'll cover many other subjects as well. Thank you for watching. Peace.
So I was clean. Wait, what's good, bro?
Yo,
What's goody?
bro, did you see at the end when the fucking my throat fell?
Nah, I ain't see it.
That shit was tough, bro. Hold on, you still on?
Yeah.
Hold on, hold on.
Hello.
Yeah, bro.
You said what fell?
My throat fell behind me, like right when I was ending.
Oh, okay.
I was like, damn. But I mean, that was a good episode.
Yeah, it was
Good
good
episode,
bread.
and I like the timing of it. We was able to. Do you like that? Do you like the central focus on one topic, and
Oh,
that's
um, for this topic, yeah, right. Yeah, I think we owe the ladies like their own segment, right?
right,
Yes, yeah. So for this, it works definitely. For other things, we could be more scattered, of course, but this works.
right, and then what was the one we was talking about for Friday? What was the other one?
Toby,
Kobe. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Friday,
Toby, yeah,
Friday, the Kobe thing gonna be heavy because
yeah,
I definitely got a lot to say about the
yeah,
being shit.
yeah.
Um, and I don't know. I'm gonna send you. Did you see Shaq shit? Well, no. The one
Um,
I sent you.
I see clips from it, right? But I see niggas hating it, right? Niggas saying he added to the hate. I think primarily the part about how I had three guys on me, right? So it opened up shit for other players. So people disliking that. I saw that.
So he was like, he also said, I'm looking at the whole pod now, but he was like, because I want to see this part. But he was like, our guy Kobe have have room to operate because I got three people on me.
I saw that.
Probably get a lot
Yeah.
of flack, but I always said to myself, I think I could have got three in a row with T Mac. I think I could have got two with Vince or maybe six with Steph.
I wish he didn't go there.
What,
I wish he didn't go there.
what's wrong with what he said?
Um, because um, I don't know if anything wrong per se, right? But I think it does add to the critique of Kobe fans that you're saying Kobe's interchangeable with just anybody, right?
But you, but not to cut you off. What I'm saying is, at that version of Shaq, you don't think he feels like I could have won with anybody?
does he feel it? Yeah. Is he correct? Questionable. But does he believe it? Yes. Should he believe it? Yes. Right? Because that's him at his apex, right? I mean, I guess the question is, do you think Mac and Vince hold LA down when he's not there, right? In the way Kobe did, and do they have the kind of series that Kobe have against San Antonio and shit, right? Maybe, right?
So I'm gonna say no. Cause I'm gonna give Kobe his credit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say one of the things that people don't realize why they worked is because Kobe was mentally tough.
yeah,
When Shaq was super insecure about certain shit, Kobe was so good he didn't care,
yeah,
and Kobe was still Kobe,
yeah.
and it allowed for the Lakers to still beat them even when Shaq would come back around and
Uh
they
huh.
was able to win in 2000. Because remember, once Kobe got nice in 2001, they started beefing, like really beefing.
Yeah.
Like
Uh
it
huh.
was like, yo, this nigga being too selfish because he averaging 28, now he not
Uh
passing the
huh.
ball. Then they would
Yeah.
get to the playoffs and Shaq would start wilding, right? Kobe averaging 30, too many shots. Shaq like, yo, turn it around, boom. They get to the playoffs, start winning. I don't know because he did it with Penny. Like all of a sudden, Penny get nice. He like, nah, I gotta get up out of here.
Yeah.
We don't know if Mac, Vince, or all them other niggas would have been able to handle that the way Kobe did.
Yeah.
Right? I think you had to be a specific type of. You had to have a specific type of mental to play with that type of not only dominant player but also insecure player.
Legit.
Right? But I do feel like I understand that version of Shaq at that time. That's like, yo, like, you know how good I am? Like, I could play with T Mac. I could play with Vince. To your point, them niggas is not Kobe. So we don't know if they're gonna be able to respond when Tim Duncan is doing what Tim Duncan is doing. Or remember when the Kings was super nice that 2002 series. Like we don't know
Mm-hmm.
if they built for that level of performance,
Nope.
you know. But I also understand what Shaq is saying,
Yeah.
and I think it sort of goes back to what you were saying about like Kalen and Angel. It's like because he died, now niggas can't tell the truth.
Yeah, man.
Because he died, niggas can't be like he not top two. Like
Yeah, man.
it's like everybody's like, oh yeah, I wasn't saying this when he was. I don't know what's overly critical. I don't know what's been overly critical.
Do you think 11 is too far? It's too low?
No,
Okay. Yeah. Let me. I don't either. Right. I I think you can make a case for any. I got him 8 to 11.
see, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Every every list that has ever come out has always had Kobe lower 10,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And people have complained.
Yeah.
Kobe is a top 5 player. Why is he
Uh-huh.
not in the top? Like every time they see Kobe at 8 or 9,
They complain.
the
Yeah.
discourse complain. Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's natural. That has happened. You know
Yeah.
why? Because they think he's Kobe. They think he's Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, if it's Kobe Bryant and Jordan, the issue this is the problem. You know the problem? Every time there's a conversation, they automatically go to this three and they
Yeah.
say rank these three. But
Yeah.
they're not talking about the other 9 players.
And dumb niggas like Tatum saying if they're not in your top three, I can't think about it. What are you talking about, bro?
No, wait. So that part of it is that's where it's at. Because when the players talk, they're not talking about Will Chamberlain and Bill Russell and them. They automatically say, yo, Kobe AI, Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan, right? That's the rank, right? So people assume that that's the three, and it's not.
Because some niggas have Shaq in their top, like my nigga. He's not.
He's not
He's
five.
he's not better than Burrow Duncan. He's not. Or Magic. He's not five. Shaq is not five. Shaq is also 8 to 11, and that's okay.
That's okay.
He has 4 rings. He has 1 MVP.
So when you do it like that, if we know the natural list is Kobe 8, 9, or 10, right? The 10 that they had wasn't wild. It was just they added Steph in there.
Yeah, right. Which is justifiable, right? Especially with what he's done.
If you saying to me Kobe is better than Steph, okay. Kobe was better longer, okay. Is he greater than Steph?
No,
It's
it's
bro.
questionable.
Steph could make a big ass argument that Steph could say he been the best player for the last decade,
Legit.
right? But you're not gonna say he better than LeBron because LeBron been the best player for the 20 years, right?
Yeah, bro.
That's the Kobe situation. Steph might not be better than him, but you gonna argue Steph is greater than him.
Hmm.
And I think it's like Kobe 11. Kobe is right there 10. If you had 11, you debatable 10.
You could be 8, 9.
Right.
If
So
you 6, you could be 4. You could be 4. You could be 3, 4, 5 potentially.
right. You know what I'm saying? So that part of it is like that's the issue. And I think when people who are so like to me, it's like because niggas got 11, they like I'm. So now they going extreme. It's like I think Kobe is better than Michael Jordan. I'm like, my nigga, are you stupid?
Yeah, bro.
Like Catino Mobley, Catino when so he went on all the smoke shit and they asked him to rank the niggas. He was like Kobe, Braun, Michael Jordan.
Contino, sit your 22 point per game ass and sit the fuck down, bro.
Catino Mobley averaged 20 before.
I tell you bugging. Let me see. I feel like didn't he have 46 when AI had 58?
Mm,
He only got 46.
I don't know. He got a 40, but I don't know if it was that game.
His high is 21, 21-7. Yeah, in
What,
02,
what year is that?
02. I think I was thinking about.
He averaged 22 before.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about him like 17.
Oh, that's what he is for career. For, for career, he's 16 points per game. But
Right.
yeah, he got 20. He got 21.7 and he got 19.5 next year.
Oh, that's pretty good.
44%, my nigga. I mean, but that's
That
that's
was the era.
that's how God was in 2000. How it
Okay.
was.
He was like Steve Francis was the first explosive point guard in NBA history.
In history,
Yeah, I'm like,
Steve Francis got drafted before Baron Davis.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
He was in the NBA before Baron.
Somebody's 99, somebody
No,
2000.
Steve Francis is 2000, right?
Yeah, BD
Steve Francis is 99, 2000,
and
and Baron is 2000. Baron is 99.
yeah,
They like right next to each other.
they are. Yeah, okay.
But Steve was better first.
Yeah, I think he mean like the ultra. I mean, cause look, Kevin Johnson could jump, right? But like you didn't call him an athlete, right? Like in terms of like a small high flyer, yeah, he got a point. Cause like Sucker also jumped too, but he wasn't nice. Robert Pat,
Yeah,
he had bounce, but he wasn't nice. So yeah, if you need a nigga who like liable to like catch dunks in traffic, right, and can really jump, yeah, I see what he mean. And all honesty, it hasn't been that much of history, right? There's been like seven of them niggas, like six really.
that's real dunkers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, and
That's
then not
dunkers.
for nothing, we say this because we see what he can do, but Derrick Rose really don't have that much in traffic shit.
Yeah, but he's explosive. He's an
Legit,
explosive point guard,
yeah,
but he wasn't
legit.
a dunker.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we know he got wild bounce. I mean, but like Russ, we saw it all the time, right? And maybe it's D Rose also, I guess, didn't rely on just purely getting in the air, right? But like Russ really be throwing that shit, right?
Yeah,
John Morant really gets in the fucking air. I mean, if it was nice, he really got in the air, right? Like, so it ain't even that much. It's been like five, six of them who could really say was super athlete small guards.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Derek is one of them.
He is legit, legit.
That Derek is one of
Yeah,
them.
legit.
But he just wasn't.
Yeah,
I think for everybody that watched him, it was like he played powerful
yeah,
without
yeah.
always having to really
Yeah,
bang on niggas.
Russell was always trying to kind of
Russ
hit
Russ
hit the rim
Russ
off,
is Russ is retarded.
especially from 15 to 17.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was wilding.
yeah.
Like from the year he had the mask, like
Oh,
actually like probably a year before that, like the mask year was like what the fuck? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was like what is this, bro?
so this is my argument, right? How much of that matters if you're not nice?
Yeah, that's why I keep saying the thing about Desmond Jr. Right? Like after the rookie year, you thought he was going there, but he just never did. Right? So it don't matter as much, right? It's cool that you could do it, right? I mean, you catch a nigga shoot whatever, but like it don't matter, right? You have to be that elite to do it also, right? Just in a way that Gerald Green bungees don't count that much, right? Because he's not nice. I mean,
But he
same
been
way.
catching mad
Yeah,
bodies.
super athlete, right? Derrick Jones, oh, super athlete. I mean, but I think with a big player, I guess you see their offense, you see their bounce in other ways, right? Like defensive end shit, lob threats, small guards, right? Had to be good for you for the impact of how high they jump. It's different. You know what I mean, because if you're not, then like whatever.
So
Like Nate Robb, no one cares.
Nate
Yeah,
Robb, but he was an
no one
OD
cares.
athlete.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
To be 5'7".
yeah, I mean, but like, you're not dunking on nobody, right? Like, so
Um, remember Kevin's point that he said about the point guards.
yeah,
Does that count if you're explosive?
no. And I think at the caveat. Now, I mean, I think he kind of alluded to that, right? He was like, "You gotta be super," right? At one
Oh
point.
yeah,
Now, I
yeah,
mean, like,
yeah. You
yeah.
gotta be, yeah.
I think. So what I mean, he talked about. I mean, niggas who like,
You can't be
yeah,
baseline 6'1" and
yeah.
make it.
So like Steph, and although they 6'3", Steph and Kyrie are super in skill, right? And the other niggas we name are super in like ability, right? Chris Paul is just like a super, like a really great player regardless of what, right? But yeah, I think those are caveats he means,
But
right?
does Chris Paul make it in this era?
I think so.
But the younger version of him.
Yeah, because I think he's what Brunson is minus the scoring, add the playmaking, and also CP probably make got get more points.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
better version of
he
CP
might
probably is a better
he might
version of Brunson.
he may get 24 and 11 right
Yeah,
in his era. You know what I mean, like he may crack a 25 once, right? Because he got 22.8 right in 08 in 08, 09. Yeah, right. So he may crack a 24, 25 one time in his era, right? And he could really shoot the three, but he ain't shoot a lot, right? he probably shooting 7 a game in this era, right? So his point gonna go up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So 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 how do you look at Brunson? You think
I think
Brunson shit is real or it's just tips?
I think it's real, bro.
You think
I
it's
think it's real.
real?
Yeah, I mean, I think he it's something him a little extra, right? I think it's real. It's like what the fuck? Yeah, yeah. I think he got something. I mean, he got holes, but I think like I think he got like a killer nigga mentality, right? Like, and I think like of his offensive game is pretty flawless, right? He can finish. I mean, he's tough.
With the post
Like,
game footwork?
yeah, yeah. I mean, he gets not get to the line. I think he's just like a really offensively sound guard without having a skill, a notable oh shit skill, right? It's just like he flat out know how to get it done. I think that's how you like measure him.
So top 10?
Yeah, I think he always fucking. I think he always hovering in 12. Yeah, like the last 2 3 years. I think he at least 15, depending on the year. Like last like not this year. Last year he was probably in the 10. He got like a top five MVP finish, right? He finished like fourth, fifth year before last.
He better than Donovan Mitchell?
I may I may trust him more in playoff. Yeah, I I think I trust him to go get it. I think DV got some. Mitch got some fold in him.
But he got some wild shit too though.
That's the thing. He got some what the fuck, but he also got some at this moment. Why that? Right? That I think in the first 2 rounds, Brunson is safe.
I hmm. So you don't look at Mitch. I can't even say that because I was gonna say you don't think Mitch is more explosive, but then Brunson be doing explosive shit too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Brunson can really be hitting niggas up in playoffs, right? Like he be hitting niggas up. So it's weird. He wild sometimes. Like in the fourth come, he just
He
he
be
wild.
wilding. Be
Yeah.
wilding.
I mean, so that's my take on him. I mean, I like Son a lot. I like Son. That, that's one of the best pickup contracts ever.
Oh, that's I mean,
Yeah, it's up there.
in terms of value,
Yeah, yeah, it's up there.
like dollar for dollar, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's
He could have been crazy in his era.
so then what about niggas like Cade?
Young, but I think he going there. He going there.
He gotta do it again this year.
He got to do it again. Yeah, K gonna be in year 4 this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why that can get. Who got what's approved? He got it.
No.
Oh,
Uh he was gonna get it, but he didn't get
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I like him. Stop doing that shit. Stop getting first picks. Like it don't make sense. Like y'all really got it. Like y'all money in the war, bro.
it. Hold on. I got it right now. Let's see. Hold on. What's this nigga name, man? What you just send me?
Some drink from last night.
You went out yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this middle picture.
She came in, so her shit was booming. She a workout joint, like heavy.
Oh, now I
I
seen the
saw her.
first picture.
Yeah, she worked. I saw it heavy. I mean, we was talking and
Now
shit.
her thigh look
Her
crazy.
thigh is crazy, bro. I said, "Fuck." She walked in, everybody stopped. Like, and
It
her,
was on that.
her friend wanted me. Her friend was on me, and I had to evade it, switch gears. Like, her friend, like a hair wrap and shit. Yeah, I kind of curved.
Where you dubbed the friend,
Yeah, I kind of turned from her purposely. Yeah, right. Yeah.
but you scooped this one.
She got her IG, so I ain't going nowhere. Right. Yeah, yeah. But I wasn't on shit. I just said let me talk to her. I don't
Oh,
be caring. Yeah.
yeah.
I ain't gonna do shit with it anyway. But yeah, go ahead. Let me.
But you think if you would have pressed the line, it would have been good?
We all sat down, shit got a little weird, and then they moved. Some other nigga at first was trying to like wing me with her friend. Her friend was with her friend wanted me, right? But then he made his man fucking with her, and they all like in their 40s and shit, right? So he kind of switched to her. They moved different tables. So I ain't press it. Outside, I stepped to her again, spoke to her. We talk about working out and shit, a regimen. Said, oh yeah, you look pretty strong, right? So then we chop it up with some rapport there. She leave it. She gave me a hug. She gave me her IG. But IG, it ain't I mean what niggas think it is. But also she ain't followed back yet. So if you follow back, I'm gonna follow her because I don't play that. I don't play the IG game. I mean, I'm just not for that, right? Like
Yeah,
she got 21K followers, so
it's not that
yeah,
serious.
at all, right? I mean, I like her, but also, I mean, I get bitches, right? So I ain't pressed. I ain't too far for one ever. She
Yeah.
nice, you know what I mean? But like, yeah,
Shit. Nah, her thighs OD though.
yeah, she nice, bro.
It was joints in the spot OD.
A lot, bro. There's a lot last. I don't know what's going on. It was flooded, my nigga. It was a whole lot.
Where you was at yesterday?
Just the W, same shit. I don't know where to go, so I just go to the W.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's it's always some heat in there.
yeah. I mean, last two nights has been heavy, so
Sound good, bro.
yeah. So
Sound good. That's you want this nigga, man. Why the Lakers get Marcus Smart, bro? He ain't playing like 3 years, bro.
I don't know.
Damn, son. Oh shit, man. Bro, I'm still fucking jet lagged. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. You need some days for that.
I gotta go back to work on Tuesday, so hopefully I'm good by tomorrow.
Hopefully, should be.
I could just I need to be able to just get I need to be able to be to sleep by like 12 so I can
Hmm.
get up at like 6. But for some reason I just can't. It's like I'm trying to go to sleep and then I'll be up all night and then
Hmm.
I'll get up regular. Like I'll get up at like 8 and then I hit a badass wall, bro, at like 10. So I think what I gotta do I think what I gotta do tomorrow is go outside.
Yeah, 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 definitely. That it'll
I
probably
gotta
yeah.
I gotta just be outside all day tomorrow.
Uh
So
huh.
when I come in the
All
crib,
day.
yeah,
You can like our regular. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
What you want today though?
I finish at work, my nigga, for the
Uh,
week. Yeah, curriculum shit. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
Friday, you in the city?
I'm not, but I think we Zoom.
I bet,
Yeah,
bet, bet, bet.
no
Okay.
doubt.
I bet. Let me know. All right, so we're gonna chop it up. I'll meet you later today.
All right, here we G's.
All right,
I guess I'm rest.
swear.
All
All
right.
right.